Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
What am I doing? What am I hitting, Dan?
The button.
What button?
The panic button.
When?
After the first segment.
After the first segment. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Well, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, this week in What Are the Chances? And also, don't be a chicken. Do you want to be part of a class action lawsuit? And everything you need to know about Mom's Spaghetti. And what a man finds in his wall will scare the living shit out of you. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Over my far right-hand side is IT Dan.
Hey, I'm in a lot of pain today. I'm surprised I even didn't call out sick.
Why are you in pain?
I got a splinter in my finger, and usually I'll go in, do a little digging, pry it out, and I put hydrogen peroxide, keep it clean.
You're not supposed to put hydrogen peroxide on it. They say that's the worst thing to put on it because it actually, or is it rubbing alcohol? What's the one that dries the cells out that actually helps the
alcohol?
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, hydrogen
Go ahead and
peroxide,
put that on there.
It bubbles up and lets you know that it's infected. That there's still a problem with it.
Right.
And I watch these movies where they torture you and they have somebody in a chair and they're pulling fingernails and they're hitting them. And I think to myself, like everybody else, hey, I can handle that. I can handle a lot of pain. I'm a tough guy. And I'm sitting there digging into my little finger, into my index finger. And boy, did it hurt like a mother. And I was digging it out. I had the magnifying glass.
What are you using to dig? Because I always have like safety pins around because I get splinters all the time. So are you digging in with a safety pin?
Yeah, I was digging in with a safety pin.
Do you light the end of the safety pin to heat it up to make sure it's sterile, Dan?
Nah,
you stick it right in mouse turds and then put the mouse turds.
And then I was taking my fingernail clippers and cutting all around it and said, I'll just remove the whole finger and it's got to go. And it was still, it's been hurting. And it's
the worst thing. A paper cut, a splinter in your hand. Yeah. I picked up a log now to expand on you being sore and in pain. My wife has been off this week. She's taken a vacation time off. She's got about 180 some odd hours that she's got to use by the end of the year. Excuse me. And so she said, you know what? I'm going to take this week off. I'm going to do stuff for myself. I'm going to relax and enjoy my horses. I'm going to enjoy the property. Well, when you say enjoy the property, Dan, you know what that means for me? We're doing projects. We have a chicken run. Now, Dan, you've been here at the house, and we've got that huge chicken house over there, and we got a smaller chicken house on the other side. And we have a fence gate, with the poles in the ground and stuff.
A gated community.
For chickens. So they're free range, but yet they still live in the same neighborhood. So we said, you know what, it's getting kind of shabby out there. Let's go ahead and pull it all up, redo everything, throw all the old fencing away. Let's put new poles on the ground. So we're lifting, we're pulling, we're dragging, that chicken wire stuff. It's like Velcro. It touches anything, it's stuck to it. And you're pulling and I stick my hands in ants because, the ground, it's ground and chicken and nature and all that. And I've got, damn it.
These are things that wouldn't happen in an office job.
No, not this office job. But I've got like an ant bite here on my knuckle. And I keep, how it gets that clear liquid inside. So
my uncle died from that.
Did he really?
No.
So, and you're squeezing the clear liquid out, and then you bend your thumb back and forth. And then I've got all these little, and I'm tired. I haven't worked this hard with my wife working than her not being at work. So that's where we're at. And we decided not to put a new fence up. We're just going to let them walk the property. Oh. And we trained them, though, which is weird. So,
well, I think they were trained by the fence pretty much. And then with gone, they kind of just instinct.
Well, we put out scratch for, I know this is riveting as far as, what do they call it? Poultry talk. But no, for those of you who don't know, we live on 22 some odd acres. We broadcast DeaconLive just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We have horses, as you know, chickens, and cattle, and all ants, and frogs and cats and dogs and all the stuff that comes with living on 20 some odd acres. Wow. I wish you would have came here sooner, Dan. I wouldn't have a frog in my throat. So I'm getting everything cleaned up and everything, and the chickens themselves, we train them. They know to go up at night into their house, and we lock the doors on it. And then in the morning we have to go out there and pull the lever to open up the doors, and all the chickens come walking out. But we've trained them to stay on the property, and the way we do that is every time they come out, we take a big one of those big feeder scooper things, and we throw it all on our side of the property, so they stay on our side of the property. If they go to the neighbor's side, they know that there's no food or anything over there. So that's how we train them. They walk around the whole property.
So you're like the chicken whisperer.
I would say maybe to a certain point, I guess. Now, I'm not a chicken whisperer, but I'm getting old in age, as you know that, Dan.
You are advancing. It's sad to see it.
Now, last week I talked about the trials and tribulations of me trying to go to or not going to my 30-year high school reunion.
And what did you decide?
So I did not go. And I said,
how was it? Did you have a good time?
Well, I was talking to my neighbor about it. He goes, so did you go? And he's an airline pilot. And I said, no, I didn't go. I said, listen to this. I am on my personal Facebook page. I'm getting close to, I think they only allow 5,000 friends before it'll cut off. You can't add anymore. So I'm floating around the 5,000 friends range. I have a graduating class, I think, of 697 people, students, pupils. And I'm like, all right, so I might have 500 friends that I graduated from high school in my fan page, and which is great. I love it. And I was seeing pictures of all the class reunion and everyone all dressed up and sitting at dinner and having dancing and stuff. And I said, well, let's see who I know and who went there and stuff.
How old? Did these people all look old to you?
Well,
you said, who are these old people?
Everyone, I could have sworn everyone was wearing fat suits. What's his name? Eddie Murphy and the Clumps. I think everyone was in fat suits. No, I'm kidding. Everyone looked good in the pictures. But I'm sitting there looking at the pictures, and I'm like going, okay, it's a big old convention hall area. If you go to a hotel, you can rent out a certain little area, and it's a good size area, like a convention hall type deal. And there's the DJ, and he's got the monitors up there, and I guess they were doing karaoke, and there's like maybe 4 balloons, and they take a group picture, and I'm like going, okay, hold on, let's see. This is the head count. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20.
Do you have to take your shoes
21,
off to count?
35. About 40 people showed up, Dan.
Out of 700.
Out of almost 700 students. Now, even if 10% showed up, which is, that's wishful thinking, that's still 70 people. There wasn't 70 people at the reunion. So I showed my wife the pictures because she's the one who wanted me to go. And I showed her the pictures. And I'm like, going, see this? She's like, what's that? She actually said, whose birthday party's that? I go, it's not a birthday party, babe. That's my class reunion. She looked at it and she's like, really? And she pulls the phone up to her face and she kind of zooms in on everyone. She's like, oh yeah, you wouldn't have had fun at this. I said,
No.
yeah, there's no way I would have spent almost $1,000 with the trip down there, the hotel stay, Ubering everywhere. The meals were already included. They couldn't figure out when to do the homecoming football game. They moved it to Thursday. It was supposed to be on Friday. And, what if you booked the tickets? And it was, I don't know.
Maybe all these other people are dead. There's a lot of people die.
All right, so go back to my 10% rule. So you have a class of 700, 10% of them have passed away. So that's 70 people that have passed away. So now we're at 630 people. Even 10% of 630 people.
Well, there could be more than that. At your age, there could be a lot more of them dead.
I don't know. I don't want to wish ill thoughts on anyone, but what do you mean my age? I'm listening to you.
Didn't you just say you were feeling really old and tired?
You're right, Dan. All right, guys. We got a big show to get into, so stick around. We'll be right back. You're listening to Deacon Live. We'll be right back. I'll fix that in post. That's what we always do.
Turn the button on.
Hold on, Dan. You're getting way ahead of yourself. We got all the fans and everyone watching this on. Now, we are going to do an actual full-length live show next week. We were going to do it this week, but someone over there, that guy right there, was a little late today, which is fine. But, yeah, make sure you follow us. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, click on our social contacts. And this live video, the whole entire video of this podcast will be up there shortly. So thanks, guys. We'll see you on the other side here in a little bit. Bye. Now I hit the thing.
The whole week, I've been waking up in the morning, 5 o'clock. Oh, my God. Did he hit the button?
No, you weren't. Make sure you clear your palate when you come back on the microphone, please.
I didn't know it was.
Well, when you get a lot of when you get a lot of saliva in your mouth, it crackles like this. I was editing the other day, and I see all these like pops, and I'm like, I have to zoom in, cut it out.
Yeah, like working with the blind.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be heard? Of course you do. Everyone wants to be heard. And the way you can be heard here on Deacon Live is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the Be Heard section. There's a little blue bar at the very bottom of the page. And when you see that, click on that. Opens up a little microphone. You can talk into your tablet, your smartphone, your actual computer. Make sure you have the microphone on, and it leaves a voice message, comes right to our inbox, and we play it on this podcast if you get in quick enough, or the very next podcast as well. You can ask about all our shows are still up. Our older shows are still up there. We have shows from 2017 that are still up, and people still come in and ask questions and stuff. And over on my far right hand side, asking questions right now is IT Dan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, and I just love to hear what the people have to say, the little comments and questions, and they have some damn good questions.
They do, and it's awesome to hear from everyone out there. We just picked up another country, I believe. So we're wrapping around about 57 countries right now.
Is that Korea or after?
No, there was another one. I forget what it is. I looked it up, or I was looking at the charts. I'll pull it up here soon.
Idaho? No, that's not a country.
Some people, it's a country. Now, Dan, you ever have like a light bulb go off in the house, and you're like, I'll fix that later, right? I'll get around to that later.
Check engine light.
No, I mean like the light in your house.
No, usually I fix them right away.
So we have in our master bathroom, or what they call it now, you're not allowed to say master anymore. It's the owner's bathroom. I don't know what the difference is on that. I mean, owner, master, you're still owning something. We have a toilet that's in a small little closet. You know, it's by itself. It's got its own little door. It's got its own little light. It's got its own little fan. Well, the light went out. And then, of course, our ceilings in the bathroom are a little bit higher. I think they're 9 foot in the bathroom. So I physically have to stand on the toilet to get to the light up in the ceiling. Of course, that's where they are. But
you ever heard of a ladder?
Well, it's a small area. I mean, it's as wide as the tack room. It's only that wide in there. And so when you shut the door, it's pitch black. So I literally, the old saying, you just pee until you start hearing water, and you're like, I got it. So I went almost 2 weeks without changing the light bulb in the bathroom, and I just did it yesterday. And when I took the thing down, I had like dead wasp, because it's like an exhaust fan and light all in one, and I pulled the cover plate and it had like dead wasp and stuff.
And you put an LED light in?
No, I put the CFL ones that we got from Duke Energy when they sell them like real cheap, like once a year they do that.
Oh, okay. Everything's LED in my house.
Well, I would put an LED in there, but I mean, when you buy the 12-pack from Duke Energy, the CFLs, and they're only like $1 something a piece, and LED lights are like maybe $4 or $5 a piece. I'm going with the CFLs for now. We've been in the house for 8 years. It's lasted this long. I can go another 8 years and be okay with that light being in there, Dan. And it's one where the longer it stays on, the brighter it kind of warms up, and brighter it gets. Now, speaking of lights and being blacked out, Kia. Car companies, they can't get the computer chips right. We found out, Dan. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dan bought my Chevy Silverado from me because we were planning on buying the new Chevy Silverado with all the cameras and all the packages and the towing options and all that stuff. Found out that in a news article, we were watching TV, my wife and I, in the theater room. And I know, baller. And she said, "God damn it!" And I said, "What?" She's like, "They're not releasing any of the new trucks until December of 2021. We have to wait till December to order our truck now."
You have to order it then, or you can get it then?
I can order it then, and then wait another, 6 weeks? Usually about 6 to 8 weeks to get it. So she was all pissed off about that. And I was like, "Babe, it's okay. We're good." Now, Kia is having the opposite problem. Kia said that this month that they're recalling 88,576 Sedonas.
Hey, I own a Kia.
Do you own a Sedona?
No, I have a Spectra.
So from 2015 to 2017, because of software problems that could activate the opposite turn signal instead of the intended one. Now, this is a weird one. So read the actual release that Kia came out with.
The smart junction box in the subject vehicles interprets the signal from the multifunction switch to determine the intent of turn signal direction. The SJB software logic may not properly interpret the signals received from the multifunction switch in certain circumstances. As a result, the turn signal may inadvertently activate in the opposite direction of what was intended by the driver, creating a risk of it. It doesn't happen down here because nobody uses blinkers in North Carolina.
Well, that's I mean, if you see a 2015 to 2017 out on the road and they don't use their blinker, just say thank you. Thank you for not using your blinker, because if you would have put it on a left and you're turning right, that would have made me more mad than you just not putting on the blinker altogether.
When I first got my license back in 1969, you had to know the hand signals. If you stick your hand straight out the window, you're taking a left turn.
Correct.
If you hold it up, you're taking a right turn. And if you twist your elbow and hold your hand down, that you're stopping. And people would use them when I first started driving.
Yeah, and if you watch diehard or religious people who ride motorcycles, they will do the same thing. If they're slowing down, especially I'm from Orlando, Florida, and we have Bike Week over in Daytona, you would see them as they're slowing down, they would do the down. Or they would have the girl, or what they call the bitch on the back. Yeah. They would have the girl on the back do the hand signals because the big fat hairy leather guy up front can't be doing this. Honey, I'm turning left. She put her hand out and do the left turn.
That's kind of a good idea to have your hand on the handlebars too.
It is. So Kia right now is telling that the owners will be notified in November, and dealers will install the software free of charge until then. If you have a 2015, 2016, or 2017 Sedona, think of something else to use signals, and that's what they're saying. I guess
go analog.
The analog with using your left arm, as Dan was saying. Now,
yeah, that's weird that it would take 4 years from when the car was built for the problem to show up. That's strange.
Well, have you ever seen? I don't know if I brought this up to you before. Have you ever seen the movie Fight Club?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what his main job, Ed Norton's job in Fight Club was? I mean, outside the actual Fight Club, what his actual job does, why he came to be what he was in the movie.
No, I don't recall.
His job was an insurance claim adjuster for a manufacturer. So he would go out and he would see a car, a car exploded on fire and it burned a family alive. And then he would go out there and examine what would happen to it. And he would go, okay, his report would have to say, is it enough that we're losing too many vehicles to issue a recall? And if it doesn't, they'll just let it keep happening. It's cheaper to pay the $1 million to the lost families, $1 million for accidents and stuff like that, than to actually recall all this and put these things in to fix the cars and stuff.
I'm going to have to watch that again. That's interesting.
They say it real quick in the very beginning where he goes out and there's a burning car or a burnt car in his lab or whatever, and he looks at it and he has to fly all over the world for whatever auto manufacturer that he represents. But yeah, that's what he does. He adjusts or evaluates whether the car we should do a recall or just keep paying the people until what's the least amount of money we have to dish out. Now, dishing out money for this artist, a Danish museum gives this gentleman who's a famous Danish artist the equivalent of $84,000. A Danish artist was given $84,000 in a museum to use it in a work of art. To use it, you hear me? In a work of art. When he delivered these pieces, he was supposed to make that it was not as a promise. They said that these aren't what we ordered. Right here, artist
Jens Hansing.
Okay.
Yeah, he gave the Kunsten Museum of Modern Art in Denmark 2 blank canvases and said they were titled "Take the Money and Run." Hanning was asked to create 2 of his previous works, 2010, an average Danish annual income.
That was his one art piece was 2010, an average Danish income, and his second art piece that he did was called the average Australian income in 2007. So what happened was they said, you know what, we're going to give you $84,000, and I want you to. Can you look up the actual? Well, actually, I'll do it right here.
Yeah.
The picture. Let me see, right here. So his images that he had, his artwork was basically he glues the average income. I can't find the stupid thing. Hold on.
But he'll glue all the money together, and that will be a display.
And it shows.
They could have a 3rd grader do that.
Well, it's supposed to represent that the how much money physically you can look at it and see how much money that a person makes in Australia, a person makes per year. In I think Australia was like 37,000, and then Australia was 29,000, and then in a Danish piece, people made about 37,000. So he was gluing this, and they wanted to recreate this thing. So they handed him $84,000, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to turn in." As you see right here, and for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. You can see this by going over proffitradio.com. He turned in this canvas right here, and what's on this one, Dan?
It's blank.
And this one right here.
Yep, just as blank. Take the money and run.
So he said, we're gonna call this, take the money and run. Now, the museum says, well, this guy's kind of like jokester at times, and his contract says that it will run from September 24th all the way till January 16th of 2022, in which the money that the museum gave him to put in the pictures, which are now not in the pictures, has to be returned. So, for example, if he did put the money in the pictures, the $84,000 would come out of the picture after the art, the length of the showing ran, and then they give it back to the museum. But right now, we won't know until the end of the running.
Well, I mean, at least he's being honest. I'm taking the money.
Well, yeah. They still haven't settled out anything, and right now they have not reached an agreement whether he's actually going to give the money back at the end of January 6th. A lot of things can happen from January 16, 2022. He could die, he could pass away, or whatever, or die and pass away,
or he could be in some island somewhere. We'll never find him.
Never find him. Now, Dan, have you ever done a class action lawsuit or been part of a class action lawsuit?
Yes, I have.
What lawsuit were you part of?
Lawsuit with Budweiser because of some ugly girls I slept with. No, to be truthful, I have. There was one at Home Depot that I was involved in, and one for something else. And they're both little things. One of them I got a check for like $400.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I remember there was doing something with a whole bunch of, if you ever use like a lithium ion battery in your products, how many lithium ions do you have, because they said that it causes this and doesn't cause this, and I got like a check for like I think $15 by the time the end of the class action lawsuit. Now here's another one, Dan. Me and you are going to sign up for it because I want, maybe we can retire off of this, because this is going to be a big one. When's the last time you bought like a bag of chicken, or just chicken in general, at the store, supermarket, or wherever?
I probably once a week, twice a week. We're big chicken fans.
Have you bought chicken in 2009?
Yeah.
Have you bought chicken in 2010?
Yeah.
And 2011 and 12 and all the way up to the present time, you bought chicken in some form, whether it be frozen, whether it be from an actual grocer or something like that. You have? Yeah. How many times a week do you buy chicken?
Probably once a week. If I go shopping every week, I'll buy chicken of some sort.
How much do you think you spend on chicken a month?
No, $25 a month maybe.
Okay. So now
I shop at Aldi's, really inexpensive there.
Yeah. So if you purchase chicken in the last decade, you could be entitled to some money back. A $181 million settlement is pending in the broiler chicken antitrust litigation. This is a class action lawsuit that actually they found that the processors of chicken were actually fixing the price for the poultry industry to charge, hey, we're all going to get together and we're going to only do our prices, this amount. And they got caught. And in 2016, they got caught in a letter saying that, there was not a newsletter, but an interim letter in the office, and someone leaked it. So what they're saying, to be eligible to receive money, me and you, Dan, you need to have purchased fresh or frozen. I'm going to close this because this circle's bothering me. Frozen or raw chicken between 2009 to December 31st, 2020. Now, I can tell you, we buy chicken, lots of chicken every month. And to claim this, here's the claim form. Go to overchargedforchicken.com and you'll see, here it is. File your claim. And we'll do this a little bit later. Let me get back into the article.
What states can you do it in?
You can do it in 18 states. Now, according to the news release, the settling defendants have not admitted to anything concerning or delaying the legal claims of this actual lawsuit, but they avoided They agreed to settle to avoid any further expenses or inconvenience or disruption in the food line chain.
We did not do anything wrong, but we're willing to give $181 million. That's how firmly we feel that we didn't do anything wrong.
So there's another company out there that, let's say pistachios. You know, pistachios are just so friggin' expensive. And the guys who make pistachios go, hey, regular nuts over there, how much you charge for a pound? Oh, we charge, $3 a pound. Hey, pistachio guys, let's charge, $15 per pound. I mean, who's to say? They're the only ones making the damn pistachios, right? It's a market on that. The claim asks for you to print out the form and actually mail this in. Now, there's 24 states that are involved in this class action lawsuit. So here it goes. Washington, D.C., California, Florida, Hawaii, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina. We qualify, Dan.
Yes.
Oregon, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Utah, and Wisconsin. For more information on that, you can watch us at the Deacon Live portion of the podcast. So there you go. So if you purchase purchase chicken during these dates, the dates are a little bit different in Rhode Island, Wisconsin. Fill out the form, estimate how many packages of chicken you purchase on a monthly basis, and the estimated cost. Well, Dan, you know what? I spend at least $300 a week on chicken.
No, that's feeding you chicken.
No, I spend $300. Dan, look at me. Wink. I spend about $300 a week on chicken. The deadline to submit this claim is December 31st, 2022. So you got almost a whole year, 16 months or something like that. To exclude yourself from the suit, you need to submit or include yourself. Needs to be done by November 10th, 2021, during the website. So here it is. File your claim here. Instructions: name, care of, street address, phone number. And it looks like a big old form, so it's going to take too long to do it on the air.
So if only 181 people apply for that,
Right.
you're probably going to get about $2,000 because the lawyer's going to steal.
Yeah.
Lawyer will steal the rest.
So-
you won't get $1 million apiece.
So don't tell your friends. Don't listen to this section of the podcast because there's going to be me and Dan and probably 180 other people. Maybe.
Yeah, I'll fill it out when my finger heals and I can use the computer again.
All right. When we come back, guys, there's a lot of things that we're killing, and we have no control over it.
Wait a minute. I didn't kill anything.
Yes, me and you, Dan, have killed some things, and there's no way we knew that we did it or had control over it. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. We'll do this and then do up to speed after that.
Oh, okay.
Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Or something like that.
You said killing stuff?
Yeah, killing stuff. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Of course you want something for free. Everyone wants something for free. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the free swag section. Click on whatever. We got some stickers. We got some magnets up there. Pick out what you want. Fill out the little form. Send it to us. And we will send those right back out. Dan, how many did we send out last week?
Oh, there was a lot. I mean, would it take an hour?
It was.
I mean, it was just...
Yeah, a lot of licking. And the sponge idea that I said worked as far as licking the envelopes and closing them.
Yeah, but I didn't get that buzz that I was expecting.
Well, I didn't put the LSD on it. Now, Dan, we're getting close to Halloween. Are you a big Halloween fan? Do you like to be scared? Do you like to be...
I do like to get scared. I like to watch a movie and get scared and jump. I enjoy that. Get your heart going.
I noticed that there's a whole lot of movies coming out on Netflix, and they're really, really ramping up all the new stuff, horror movies, and hey, this beats this movie, and this is if you like this movie, this is a new horror twist on an old tale or something like that.
Or seeing Michael Myers walking along the beach.
Oh yeah, the one guy. So watch your saliva there. You're clicking. That's all. Do you hear it?
No.
You don't hear it?
No.
Okay. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Oh.
Now, ever since I was a little kid, I love to do the Halloween for the neighborhood, decorate the front of the house and have like a big haunted house for the kids to come up. When I lived in Orlando, I would cover the whole entire garage, or not the garage, the carport leading up to the garage. and Visqueen, so the kids had like a maze to come through to come in and get your candy, and then they run out the side and all the black lights and everything like that. But there's a lot of people who take this, do it professionally. Like every year they design these big, huge haunted houses and in neighborhoods or fair festivals. This one right here in Ohio, there's a place called 7 Floors of Hell. You know, it's never something friendly or
and people, let's go there. Let's go. Let's bring the kids.
And this guy right here, Christopher, what's his last name? Pogolinsky?
Christopher Pogolinsky.
Close enough.
Yeah.
He was 22 years old, and they don't call the people inside monsters or anything. They call them actors because they're supposed to be, the people that work the actual thing where they're dressed up in makeup and stuff. They call them actors. He was working at the 7 Floors of Hell haunted house in Chukoga. These names, give me a break. What's this right here, Dan?
Yeah, Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds. Right there off of Main Street.
On the corner of 5th and Main. He tried to scare a 11-year-old boy with what he assumed was a knife prop. Now, when they have knives and stuff, they're supposed to be fake, rubber and stuff. So this is what happened. He was scraping the knife on the ground and trying to play around with the boy. And the boy's mother said, my son said, "I'm not afraid of you," like an 11-year-old boy would do. And he said, "That knife is fake." So the boy says, "Oh, it's real. Trust me, it's real." And at that, he started like poking at the ground around the kid several times. Well, I guess the kid moved his foot just at the right time, and he came down with a knife and pierced his foot with the knife. And I have an article or news article right here. Let's listen to this.
The actor accidentally poked his toe. He gets down low to the ground like a little troll, and he pokes the ground with the knife, got a little too close, and an accident happened.
Well, the owner of the 7 Floors of Hell haunted house at Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds is speaking out tonight after an 11-year-old boy was accidentally stabbed by a worker last weekend. Police say the actor had a Bowie knife as a prop, and while attempting to stab at the ground, he accidentally hit the boy's foot. Rodney Gifford, the owner of the attraction, says everyone uses rubber or latex props, but this was a freelance actor who went and got the knife from his car to make things more realistic. After police checked the situation out, the family declined further medical treatment.
He didn't need any medical attention. Police asked for another Band-Aid. They put a Band-Aid on the foot.
Yeah, see, you got to be careful. We didn't put it on there. They did.
Said they had a great time and left. We've been here 21 years. We have a very clean track record. We wouldn't be at a county fairgrounds 21 years if there's shenanigans happening.
Gifford says the actor was let go and will not be back.
But imagine that you're working as a subcontracted guy, and you want to make your job a little bit more believable, so you take a real knife in there.
Well, he's preparing the kid for the outside world. I mean, the statistics say 1 out of every 3 persons is going to be stabbed sometimes in their life anyway. Now the kid's got it over with.
So he can live his life and not be in fear anymore. Now, living in fear, Dan, let's see, how do I word this? Are you afraid of, like, bats?
Yeah, they scare the hell out of me.
Do they really?
I worry about them landing in my hair more than anything.
Well, not for nothing. That's a myth. That's a whole myth. Bats know exactly where you are, and they know that they're not going to, they stay away from you. And the reason why I say that is, not that it's a myth, but the reason why I say they stay away from you, on the backside of the studio here, now for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. Beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on 22 some odd acres, and on the back of the studio here, we broadcast over a 3-car garage. I know, big baller. It's AC and everything up here. It's nice. We have a bat house on the back of the building here.
Right where you park the Batmobile under it.
So at night, if you watch, you can count, and they're small. Easy on the equipment over there, Dan. We're still paying for it. They're small. They're about the size of maybe an egg, a normal egg. When they get their wingspans out, they're probably maybe 6-8 inches across. And you sit there and you can count them. And about 30 of them come flying out of that bat house. And it's great. They cut down on all the mosquitoes in the area. But things didn't work out too well for this Illinois man. This Illinois man was bitten by a bat in his sleep and later died of rabies. This is the first human case of this ever being noted since 1954. The man, who was 80 years old, woke up with a bat on his neck in mid-August and then declined treatment for pre-exposure for rabies and all that. So they said, bats could be in your home. You might want to check this out, sir. And he's like, no, I'm fine. So he got bit. Like the bat was biting on his neck in the house.
I would definitely be checked for rabies. That's crazy.
So a month later, the man began having symptoms associated with rabies, running around, foaming at the mouth, barking like a dog. Isn't that rabies, that stuff?
No, that's in the movies.
Oh, is that? He had neck pains, headaches, difficulty controlling his arms, his finger numbness, and, well, that's me on a normal day, Dan.
Yeah. I think
got rabies.
I think I have all those symptoms. Yeah.
So maybe I've got rabies too, Dan. So the bat was captured and tested positive for the disease. The man died short time later. Disease.
Well, at least he knew what he died of, which is nice.
Right. But I mean, how was that, I got bit by a bat. I'm fine.
Yeah, and I think I would have gone to the doctor. That's just me.
Now, things that are dying right now, no fault of myself or Dan as well, is the endangered species list. Let's see. The Fish and Wildlife Service announcement this past Monday has now added 22 animals and 1 plant to the United States now extinct. And they were removed from the endangered list and now are put on the extinct. That means they can find no evidence, and I have a hard time believing they can't find any evidence that they're still alive. It's a big fucking world, Dan. So here's what happens. Why does this matter? Is they're saying that after the existence of untold numbers of years, species will never appear on the planet again, but largely because of human-caused habitat destruction and climate change. No. Dinosaurs are not here for a reason. Why?
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 Because they're dead.
They're dead. And why are they dead?
Because they never existed in the first place.
Did they never exist? Or
Have
because...
you ever seen one?
No, I mean, other than the bones and stuff.
You saw the Flintstones TV, and then you assumed that they were dinosaurs.
But what a lot of people don't understand, that human mankind, in any form, whether it be Neanderthal, missing link, whatever down the line, has never existed at the same time that dinosaurs or this happened. Okay? You with me?
Yeah.
You look confused.
Well, so all these people here did coexist. These creatures did coexist with us.
But we had outside of, it wasn't our fault. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. I'm just sitting here living on the planet. So here's what happened. Here's the list of 11 birds, 8 freshwater mussels, honestly, 2 fish, a bat, maybe the guy that bit the one guy, and a plant. The ivory-billed woodpeckers leading the list. They were in the endangered species for the very, very long time, and now they decline, and extinction coincides with the destruction of its own growth forest habitats from logging. I say bullshit, but I'm just going to say bullshit for now. The kakachikachikyu, a Hawaiian forest bird, now can only be heard through recordings. The habitat of destruction introduced from non-invasive species, including egg-eating mammals, contributed to the extinction. See, it didn't say anything about us. It just said non-native species, including egg-eating animals or mammals, caused the extinction. Are you following me, Dan?
Yeah, we got Bachman's warbler. That's in the southeast U.S. That was a songbird. Last spotted in 1988. But, there's a lot of trees and woods. I don't know. The flat pigtoe?
Is a freshwater mussel. Now, come on. Have you scoured the whole entire freshwater, all the freshwater lakes? And, Florida's got the largest amount of lakes per square mile. Have you looked in all those lakes? No, you haven't. So it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, and the San Marcos Gambusia.
Yeah, first listed in 1980 as a freshwater fish found in slow-flowing sections of the San Marcos River in Texas. But,
You know what's really going extinct?
What?
Common sense. It's dying.
I guess you're missing my point, Dan. Things go extinct without any outside interference from anyone around. There's bugs, they just don't exist anymore. There's animals that just don't exist anymore. Not because of us, not because of our cars, our food, the way we process stuff. There's probably, I'm going to say, close to 1,000 species between plants, bugs, mammals, all that.
Well, there may be more.
And that extinct every day. But then, on the reverse of that, there's probably 1,000 things that are new, undiscovered. They're always discovering new bugs, and they're naming them after like Leonardo DiCaprio and Julia Childs, and all these other different things to represent, the time that we're living in.
Yeah, and I think man has going to be some at fault at some of these.
Even still, even if man is, this chair is going to drive me crazy. Even if man caused the extinction of let's say X amount, it's not our fault. It's not our fault, Dan. Don't beat yourself up.
Okay, Travis has a good lawyer. I think we're going to be fine with that.
I'm going to sign up for the chicken class action lawsuit. Now, I've always thought that this house is haunted. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the land that it sits on, but some weird things just happen in the house and that I can't explain. Like, I think I hear like my wife in the other room, and I look and she's down at the barn. And I'm like going, well, what the hell was that noise? Now, our home is a wood structure home, so we have like wood floors. And
how old is the house?
2004, I believe.
Oh, that's plenty of time for someone to get killed in the house before you bought it.
Or if the original owners were the ones who we bought it from. But who knows what the ground was like. Now, don't forget, I told you before, this was I think 200 and some odd acres of cattle. And it was always cattle for many, many years. And who knows if like things happen here or Indians. I mean, we still find bones and stuff. And I say cow bones for the most part. I mean, you could tell cow bones from human bones. But I think there's just something floating around this house that's just a little weird for me sometimes.
Okay, I've never experienced anything here myself, but I'll go with that.
This homeowner over in the UK buys his very first home. Now, this home was built in 1961, and it's been renovated a couple times. He bought the home. He's like, I'm in my first home. I'm excited. I want to do some remodeling to make the home fit my lifestyle. And what he does is he sees this little wire that's on the floor that goes into a wall and then just disappears. He's like, I don't understand where this wire goes. So he kind of goes, I'm gonna poke a hole in the drywall and look inside and see what where the wire goes, if I can see what's inside. And what he finds inside is very disturbing. He's taking it lightly, but it's very disturbing. So for more on this, let's watch this. They get a little cheesy, Dan, so don't worry.
The show with a very spooky story today.
Cheesy.
Last week, teacher Jonathan Lewis made a terrifying discovery when he moved into his new house in Liverpool.
Well, after examining a gap underneath the stairs that had been boarded up, he came across a creepy rag doll with an even creepier note.
Look at this.
There's
the hole.
What's inside the hole? Dun,
There's
dun,
the doll.
dun.
That's not that creepy at all.
No, it's not, but I mean...
Well, Jonathan is here now to explain more. Hiya. Thank you very much
morning.
for joining us.
He's got a horrible internet connection, so bear with us because this video is going to click in and out here.
So last week, finally, you got the keys for your first house. You've been waiting for quite a while to get them.
Yes, I've been waiting about 5 months. I got my offer accepted in April, so it's been quite a while. So yeah, very excited.
So he said the
Very
house has been
excited
sitting
for
since
you and a few of your
84.
friends sort of got into the house, got the keys, had a run around and explored to see what you could find. And just explain where you are, because this is an area under the stairs, isn't it, that's boarded up?
Oh, is he there? Can
Delay.
you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
So it's an area under the stairs that's boarded up.
Yes, sorry, yes. So I'm underneath the stairs at the minute in the kitchen, and next to me here is what used to be a cupboard, I think, and it's just plasterboard. And there's a wire going in underneath that I don't know where it goes. So I thought I need to put a hole in and try and figure out what it does. So I put the
So
hole in,
he puts a hole in, looks inside, he sees the doll. Now, the thing is, the doll's got like a little note wrapped up, tied up on it. And Dan, I'm going to let you read this note right here. So, right there.
The note said, "My name is Emily. My original owners lived in this house in 1961." It begins with a note attached to the doll, who goes on to confess, "I didn't like them, so they had to go. All they had to do was sing and be merry. It was sickening. Stabbing was my choice of death for them, so I hope you have knives." Emily ended her welcome letter with the congenial, "Hope you sleep well." Of course she did. While the revolution would have spent many running for the hills, Lewis seemed pretty unperturbed. He, knowing house was only recently renovated about 4 or 5 years ago, he expected it was a prankster did that.
So have you seen that? I mean, if you were to see that in your house, Like you open up a wall and you see it.
Yeah.
Now the doll didn't look that old. It didn't look
Yeah.
like it was sitting there since 1961.
Yeah, if you had a creepy doll that was dirty and had the eyes shot out or looked
Right.
like Chucky or something, but I like the idea. I love pranks. I like this. Could have been that lawyer from Galveston, the guy who dressed up like Michael Myers. He could have
That's
done
twice
that.
you brought him up now. You got a
Yeah.
crush on that guy?
No, that was a funny story, and he was a guy who he liked pranks.
All right, when we come back, speaking of pranks, we're going to get with Dan and Up to Speed with Technology. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Proper Radio. I'll be right back.
I like that story. That was good. I appreciate stuff when you do things.
What do you mean you appreciate stuff when I do things?
Well, no, when people do things like that.
Oh, yeah. You ever seen the one where the guy's building a new deck? He's building a new deck, and he gets one of his Halloween skeletons and puts it in underneath the deck and covers it in dirt and then builds his deck over it. So anytime later on if someone has to dig that deck up and do anything, they'll find like all these old Halloween skeleton bones. Have you seen that one?
No, but I love the idea of somebody doing something that somebody 40 years, 50 years from now will come by and...
Well, my house in Orlando, every time I did something like I had a small medicine cabinet. And my bathroom was, good sized bathroom, and this was the only mirror. So I pulled it off, and then I wrote, at the time, Amy saw it, at the time I was dating this one girl, Travis loves Julie. Yeah. And then I put this huge friggin' mirror up on it, and then when we started dating, we took the mirror off to paint the walls, and she's like, oh, Julie? And I go, yeah. But I mean, when we built the barn, you saw the stuff that I wrote in the barn. Yeah. I write stuff all the time on the backs of stuff. So when people come and look at it or later on.
Yeah, we wrote stuff on the walls. If anyone, a house in Vermont, if anybody saw things, but something in the walls would be cool. So.
Well, like baseball cards. They used to throw the old baseball cards in the wall. Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready for Up to Speed.
Okay. Welcome back to Deacon Live. It is now time for Up to Speed with Technology with IT Dan.
Good afternoon. Just want to let you know that your apps are watching you everywhere you go unless you change a few settings on your phone.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yep, on your iPhone, your iPad, you follow these steps, you tap your settings, you navigate down to privacy, and you tap location settings. If the first slider is turned on, it means that apps can track you. So you have to go and click on specific apps and then choose, as far as location, you choose never, ask next time, while using the app or always. And I mean, I usually have mine while using the app, and I want to do that from my maps mostly. That's the only thing I really care about.
So how do I do it on my
location.
Android, Dan?
On your Android, you swipe down from the top of the screen.
Hold on.
And pick location.
Okay, swipe down twice.
Yep, you find settings.
Hold on. I don't have that on my phone.
Oh, okay. Well, yours is Fisher Price. You need to get a newer
wait,
Android.
hold on. There's a location. Okay, location.
Yeah, and then you tap app permission, and you should see a list of all the apps that can access your location at any time.
Hold on. I know. Location. I don't see it on mine.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Big screen.
This is what a normal person would do.
All right.
Normal person would swipe down and click on location, search the settings and find location, tap app permission, and then you can see a list, and you can do that, on your phones, and you can change the app permissions, and this is just so people don't know where you are. Of course, everyone's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok telling everyone where there is, but it's just something you can do if you don't want people to know where you are. I kind of like to leave the things on in case I do happen to get killed and put into a house in the wall. Someone will know where I am.
I leave them on because it's a lot of times where you're like, if you're in a store, like for example, I shop at Walmart all the time, and I'm looking up something. Let's say I want to find out something at Walmart, and it goes, use your location. Yes, use one, because I don't want to know what's in Walmart in Massachusetts. I want to know what's in my location.
And as far as my location is, Google seems to think that I'm in, another part of North Carolina all the time.
Does it really? Yeah. All right, what else you got?
Has your data been leaked? There's been some big leaks going on, and you can go to HTTPS.
Hold on. I got to write this down. Don't give me the whole address. What's the actual?
Okay, cybernews.com.
Cybernews.com.
.com slash
forward slash or backward slash?
forward slash personal dash
hyphen
data
hyphen
leak
hyphen
check.
Enter. Invalid page doesn't exist, Dan.
That's because personal is spelled PER.
I put personal. Hold on. My dyslexia. All right.
There you go.
So here it is.
Now just type in your email.
Deacon at profitradio.com. Check now.
And click check now. Okay, that one hasn't been doing.
Damn, solid.
You're good. Right now we show that the Deacon has not been hacked into. Try your other address.
All right. Let's do this one. Don't look. It's Hotmail. Hotmail.com. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Your data's been leaked.
Oh, no. So how do I see it?
Yeah.
Check now?
Yeah, you check now. It's been leaked. And there was a big leak where almost 3 billion email addresses were leaked. Hackers got in. And, I mean, the thing to do is I found out I myself was hacked. It has nothing to do with you or your security. It's they leaked a website. They've gone into someone's server, cracked into it, and it's nothing you did wrong. But what I did, I went and changed my email password, and I went to all my banking.
So this is the one that I was talking to you earlier when you brought this up before the show. Have I been pwned? And it's pwned, P-W-N-E-D. Have I been pwned? P-W-N-E-D. And I looked up that one. I knew that one for a long time ago. Let me see. And it'll actually tell you where you've been. What email address or what website's been hacked? Oh, no, I've been pwned. Thank you very much. Let's see. And it actually says there was a list.
Oh, Adobe. And
No, that's not it. Pwned. I've been pwned. Subscribe. Oh, subscribe. See, before it was free. I've been pwned in 7 data breaches. And now they want you to pay so you can see it. Before it was a free thing, so that's how they're getting you now. So
and so I just went in and changed. I was probably due for doing it anyway, so I just changed my thing.
Are you that paranoid, Dan, with leaking your password being leaked outside of?
Well, what the problem with your
your password, your email address.
Your email address, your password. That's probably one of the most important things because someone can go hack into something else and they go, well, send the email to your address, and they can check it. So that's probably the most concerning one.
I get more. Yeah. I just had one here just a minute ago. I get more scam phone calls to my phone number than I do scam emails to my email.
Yeah, I'm getting.
Does that make sense to you?
I'm getting a lot of them, and I'm forwarding them. Like I send abuse at AT&T and stuff like. Oh, great! Now everyone knows who my carrier is because there's only like 4 of them. So
and there's only 2 IT Dans.
Yeah, but what's probably more important than any of the stuff here.
Thanks for combing your hair, by the way.
Yes,
you look awesome.
That's because of the headphones. And my wife promised me she'd cut my hair for like the last month. But here's something that's probably most important. How to find public restaurants near you with Google Maps.
Restaurants or restrooms?
Restrooms, yeah.
I know how to find
Okay. Yeah.
Restaurants.
Yeah. But if you're on an iPhone, iPad, Android phone, you can use free Google's Map app just to find a public restroom. And I'm sometimes.
Hold on now. I got to go to my. You got to. It's a lot of participation here, Dan. I was totally not prepared for this. All right. Go to Google Maps. I'm going to Google Maps. Now what?
Yep. And now you're going to find.
What do I type in?
In the app, to the right of the map, tap your location option.
You told me to turn that off.
No, that was on everything else.
All right, I got my location option, and it shows us right outside the French here.
Yep, and then in the field with the magnifying glass, in the search here field, type restrooms near me and hit enter.
Restrooms. I got to spell it right. Rooms near me. Restrooms near me. Got it. Oh, United Site Services, 1 star. Portable toilet supplier. Public restrooms, no rating. Restrooms.
Yeah, I mean, if you're out somewhere and you really got to take a dump really bad, or
now there's and Dan hates when I do this, and I'm gonna do it every episode now. There's actual. Do you know what Crohn's disease is?
Crohn's disease is that is when you have to go to the bathroom all the time.
Well, your body makes you think that you have to go to the bathroom all the time. There's a disruption in your intestines, and they're not communicating. It's your second brain. Remember we talked about that a few weeks ago? Your intestines has a second brain to tell your main brain, hey, I got to poop. There's actual apps for people with Crohn's disease, and you've seen the commercials where the woman's getting ready to leave the house, and she turns around and goes right back in the house again because she doesn't know. That helps people with Crohn's disease, almost the same thing, where you can open up your house, bathroom, if you're traveling down these 2-lane country roads that we live on. If your house is available for someone with Crohn's disease, hey, can I use your restroom? You're on the app, and sure, come on in. And they leave like a 5-star rating or a 4-star rating, depending on, the bathroom and everything.
That's creepier than that doll being in the wall. I'm sorry.
But I mean, it exists. So people with Crohn's disease have that as well. So if you don't have that app on your phone, you can also, I guess, look on Google Maps for public restrooms. I don't know if I'd go to public restrooms. I would rather a restroom at someone's house, where it's got the doily on the back of the toilet tank or anything.
Yeah, this is down a dark
How far
path.
am I going, Dan?
Yeah, I mean,
these are the things I think of. These are the things that I think of.
Most of the McDonald's or the name brand place usually have clean restrooms.
But a lot of times they say, well, you can't be in here unless you're a customer. You got to buy something. No. Restroom's always broken. When you go to the Habib store. No, restroom's broken. Employees only or something like that. And I always say, look, I am going to take a shit right on your floor right here. Yeah. All right, here's the key. And it's always connected to like a hubcap or something.
We stopped at a gas station coming back from Charleston, South Carolina a couple of years ago. And it had to be the most disgusting bathroom. The family is run by Indians, and it was the most
not Native
disgusting.
Americans, people from India.
Yeah, people from India, and it was the most disgusting bathroom I think I've ever seen in my life. It was just horrible. So.
All right, what else you got?
No.
Anything special happen? You're buying some. You said you got problems with your computers at home. How can the IT guy have problems with their computers at home? How much of an IT guy are you, Dan? I mean, what's going on?
I'm a human. I was upgrading my computer, and I go to a site called partpicker.com, and you choose the motherboard, the CPU, different memory, and you find things that are compatible that that works. And the CPU that I was looking for, they were all back ordered 3 or 4 weeks from now. And I was looking around on Amazon, found one, and I said, I'll get this one. And I didn't double check and make sure that it was compatible. And I bought it and put it all in, and you get nothing out of it.
So that's like the equivalent of going to a tire. I need new tires for my car. I'm just going to go to the tire store. Give me 4 of those. No. 4 of those, not those. Those guys right there. And you get home and you're like, I need a 15-inch instead of 14-inch or something.
It's similar than that, but it's.
I'm speaking for the common man.
Yes, and so I screwed up. So I got to wait till next Thursday.
Do you have to? Can you return the other ones? I mean, electronics. You can open package.
Amazon. You can. Yep. You can. Amazon. You can bring stuff.
All right. Anything else, Dan?
No, that's good. So now I got to tomorrow. I got to work on my computer tonight and get everything going. The old one.
All right. When we come back, the TikTok ways that TikTok's telling you not how to quit your job. A lot of videos are out there like going, no, don't quit your job this way. What am I talking about? We'll dive into that here when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
Did you see the guy from FedEx on TikTok that said he wasn't going to deliver to anybody's house if they had
with
Biden?
a Biden sign?
Yes.
Yeah. Go to well, I guess it doesn't matter because they charge you for it. But the I Have Been Pwned website gave the list of everything, and when I looked at it, I think it was like an old when I had AT&T Universe or Uverse or whatever it was called, and Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, they're
not Facebook. I'm sorry, not Facebook. MySpace. Yeah. They had MySpace was hacked, and it was part of the whole thing. I think Target was one of them. I was like, I don't have those anymore. So.
Yeah, and I think and it's probably not a bad idea just to go change your passwords.
Well, I change my passwords all the time because I can't remember them. I gotta go in there and go, forgot password, change your password. God damn it! Click in there and stuff.
I submitted that I filled out that thing for broiler chicken antitrust. And I said I spent $18 a month, I figured.
$18 a month?
But it doesn't tell you how many months.
You spend $18 a month on chicken. I would put $300 a month on chicken. Easily, Dan.
Yeah.
You've already filled it out. Now you know what you're going to get? 40 cents. You're going to get a check with 40 cents. And I'm going to put $300. I'm going to get a check for $15,000.
Okay, well, we'll have to see what happens. This will be on our show. It doesn't ask you. It says how much you spend a month, but does that assume that you bought something every month from that date to it when you fill it out?
On average, Dan, when you when you do your grocery shopping per week, I know that I'm going to pick up maybe one, like at least 1 to 3 pounds of chicken a week.
Well, this is saying you're picking up 2 packages. Sorry.
So if you spend, let's say, $15 a week, that's $45 a month. No, $90 a month times 12 months times. I mean, do the math on that.
I know, but I'm trying to tell them that what I've, that hey, this guy's honest. He spends about, he could buy chicken.
You know what they're gonna say? Sucker. Here's your 54 cents and a coupon to friggin' KFC or something. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, for every artist that you hear on Deacon Live, they are independent artists. They support our show, and we want you to support them as well. And for all the sponsors out there, we appreciate them as well. And the way you support them is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on their little logos, little icon is what I'm going to call it, and make sure that you support them as well. And over on my far right-hand side, supporting us here at the show is IT Dan.
Yes, I'm supporting you guys. And I'm glad we have such a good listening audience.
We do. We love each and every one of you. And we also, to show our love, we also give you guys some free stuff. And you can get that over on ProfitRadio.com. Some magnets, some stickers. Get on board with that. We'll send them out to you.
Yeah, I really enjoy the comments. Most of them are very nice.
And for those of you overseas, it takes us a little bit longer because we like to gather up and do those once a month. But the local subscribers here or people that want free stuff here in the United States, we get those out right away. Now, Dan, usually starting as soon as the cool season comes around, everyone opens up the house, gets their windows open. It's a little bit more of we're getting ready for the home stretch. We're getting ready for Halloween. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. We're getting ready for Christmas. These are the 3 top holidays that are coming up where family gathers a lot. My family didn't really do the Halloween thing. They're all into Thanksgiving and Christmas. I love the Halloween thing. I would get my friends over. We'd do Halloween parties and all that. But Thanksgiving, sometimes you have all the horror stories where everyone starts drinking at 10 o'clock when the turkey goes in, everyone starts drinking just because of their family atmosphere and stuff.
So you inviting your whole class, your graduating class up here you could have them up here for Halloween?
I could have them up here for Halloween, and all 40 of them, you have to show your proof of purchase when your ticket that you went to the class reunion. By all means, you're allowed to stay here. Bring your own RV if you've got one of those, a pop-up, anything. We got plenty of acreage here on the French. For those of you who don't know, we broadcast.
You could have a Woodstock here.
Yeah, we could. For those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And we're about 8 hours door to door from here to Orlando.
Oh, you know what happened in Marshville yesterday?
What's that?
I was driving home from your house on 205, and even before the Dollar General, and there was a guy coming the wrong side of the road in a white pickup truck. Both the tires and half the hood were on my side of the lane.
Oh, really?
I had to swerve, go on the grass, and swerve around the guy. And then the guy saw me and corrected.
Leaving here yesterday.
Yeah, leaving here. Yeah, 5 minutes after I left here. And if I didn't pull off, if I was looking at the radio or talking on the phone or anything,
that would have
not
been
paying attention, that would have been a head-on.
Now,
and he did not get back in time. He finally corrected and swerved and got back. But he would have hit me if I stayed where I was.
Now, you've seen the traffic. You've been out here enough times. You've seen the traffic that's around here. It's either international harvesters doing the grains and mowing everything, picking up the corn and the crops and all that, or the feed trucks, the big long 18-wheelers that have chickens and everything in them. And then there's local people around here. You can tell those are the 3 types of vehicles. Or then there's the little scooter vans that don't really belong here Was this a person that you could tell doesn't belong in Marshville?
No, this was a white pickup truck, 4-wheel drive, big pickup truck.
So he looked like he belonged here in Marshville.
Yeah, he just belonged on the other side of the road. That's all.
Well, I didn't know that. Are you okay? Were you shaking up? Did you pull over and
you know how
shit
many
your pants
times
or anything?
Do you know how many times this has happened to me? It's like every week I have to pull off the road and get around somebody that's on my side of the road, and I just
every week.
It's I just say it's Tuesday.
Dan, if this is happening to you every week, have you thought about it might be you?
Yeah, I'm on my side of the road. It's just I'm kind of looking out the windshield, watching out for other people.
No, you're not. You're paying attention to the stupid thing, the stupid radio that's in there, and why it's not connecting. You spend all that money on the new radio in there, and you're looking at the backup camera at the same time.
I admit that I don't know how to operate my radio, but I don't mess around.
I told you, just leave it alone. Leave it alone. It would be just fine. Now, with all your family and friends coming over, sometimes you just want to be left alone, or sometimes you want everyone to just leave each other alone. But with this right here, if you had this at your party, everyone's going to be talking up, chowing it up, and maybe causing a disturbance or not. Are you familiar with Fireball, Dan?
I've just heard the name of it. I've never drank whiskey in my life.
So it's a whiskey. It's a cinnamon whiskey, and I don't know when it took off, but all of a sudden it just took off like gangbusters. And I remember Fireball when it was called Goldschlager. Do you remember Goldschlager?
No.
Goldschlager was this bell-shaped glass bottle that actually had gold flakes in it. And when you drank it, it had this hot, burning cinnamon, like an atomic fireball cinnamon flavor in your mouth. Well, Fireball has taken that and made millions and millions of dollars. Now, when you have big parties and stuff, when I had my Halloween parties, we always had at least 4 kegs of beer because I would have 200 and some odd people at my Halloween parties in Orlando. But this right here, have you heard of like a keg of beer, of course, and a keg of wine? I don't know. I've heard box wine, but a keg of Fireball, cinnamon whiskey, RIP to all our livers, is now available. So your next party will be sure to be unlike any other parties with the new Fireball keg in attendance. In case it would not be obvious for Fireball keg or anything like that. So just proceed at your own caution. Fireball keg provides a 5.25 liter straight Fireball cinnamon whiskey. Are you looking up the price on it?
Yeah, I am. I was going to look up.
All right,
that.
so that means you have 115 shots. So 115 shots. Let's do the math. While you do that, I'm going to do the math on 115 shots between how many people? Let's say you got
$74.99 and they're out of stock.
Are they really?
Yeah.
All right,
well, all the people, they heard about it on our show and
let's say you have 15 people at your party. So 115 shots with 15 people, that's 7.5 shots per person. That's enough to get you going. So Fireball whiskey is now coming out with, I call it a pony keg. It's small. You can put it in your refrigerator, not like a keg that, like the old school days where you put it in like a trash can and put ice around it and towels around it so it didn't leak all over the place. So Dan, here it is right here.
Yep, look at that. You can find it at local retailers nationwide for a limited time. Nothing warms the soul quite like Fireball. And for $75, yours would be cozy. It almost sounds like we're doing a commercial for this. You know? It doesn't. We're just trying to bring up something interesting.
And here's the tagline: let the chaos begin. So they're already saying, instead of drink responsibly, they're saying just let the chaos begin. Now, speaking of chaos, people out there, fast food restaurants, and we'll get into a whole bunch of the next episode. We're going to do a whole bunch of fast food topics, and it's going to be really, really interesting. But right now, fast food restaurants are bumping up their pay rate. $15, $17, $18, $19 an hour just to flip burgers and do fries.
I go to some fast food restaurants, help wanted, and they've cut back on their hours, drive-through only, because they don't have enough help.
So there's no shortage of viral hacks that you see on the TikTok videos. While some of them is a great idea to save money and more efficiently, or whatever that word is right there, other so-called hacks are downright dangerous. Now, there is a viral video going out from a gentleman by the name of working at Popeyes. His name is Tyrone Dodd1. He shows up walking to a deep fryer, and he said, "I'm sick of this job." Now, at Popeyes, they always have the grease or the oil, the grease pans or the grease traps or whatever. Not the grease traps.
They just have the fryer later with all the grease in it. Yeah.
So watch this video here, and for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well, and the way you see that is go over to ProfitRadio.com, click on DeaconLive, and you can see the video as well. So here's the video that the guy actually does. He takes a cup, big, large cup full of ice, and puts it in the where you put the fry.
Oh, that's a big basket. That's good.
It's a fry basket.
Yeah.
And he takes it. Let's see if I can find
I've done this before, by the way.
Have you really?
Yeah.
And what happened?
I would.
Well, don't give it away. So let's see. This is the actual video. The guy said, "I'm quitting," and TikTok is saying, don't do this because it's going to destroy. It could hurt someone, first of all. Second of all, it could destroy the company. But, you know, when you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, and you've got this attitude like, fuck this, the world owes me more than this, than 17. You got your $17 an hour. I said this before. You got your $15 an hour. And then people like this, like Tyrone Todd or whatever his fucking name is, says, I'm sick of this job. I'm going to destroy it and go on to something else. I quit.
Well, how can you work at a job like that and play video games in your mom's basement for 24 hours a day? You can't do both things, so the job has to go.
So, yeah, but you don't do it respectively. You know, if you're the guy that's always been, heard about, well, I'm going to pull his name out because this is stupid. Tyrone Dodd is his name. And he's like, this is the way I'm going to quit my job. Well, guess what? This is going to follow you longer than you can think.
Yep.
So here he goes. He's walking. He's got the big basket full of ice. And he's walking over and he works at, I guess, Popeyes or something like that. So here he goes. You ready? Of course, they got the music playing and everything. Hot oil. It all ends right here. Drops the whole where's the other thing? It didn't play the whole thing. Oh, of course. Hold on. I gotta find the right video. Oh, they've taken it down. That one's been taken down. Shut up. Let's see. All right, give me a sec because I got to find the video. I had the video.
I'm not getting any younger over here.
Dan, don't need your compliments right now. Or your comments.
I know what's going to happen. Scientists warn against this, so do not try this at home.
I knew Newsweek was going to give me a problem with it.
It's that profit thing they're trying to do.
We're not on the air, Dan, so hold on a sec.
What's wrong with mashed?
I think that's where I got it from. See?
Oh. This is something I did back in the 1970s.
See, it's been marked private now. Because I'm sure he got hit for it. Fuck. I should have recorded it. I didn't know it was going to go this big.
It's not on YouTube?
All right, I can't find the video. They've taken it down. All right, so back to you ready? Come back to it.
Yep, I can tell you what I've done.
All right, hold on. Right here. Drops the whole where's the other thing? It didn't play the whole thing. Oh, of course. Hold on. I gotta find the right video. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
So obviously I can't find the video. They've taken it down because what happens is he drops that whole basket of ice into the vat of oil, and it just literally it's a volcano. It bubbles up and explodes and goes all over the counter, all over the floor. And I'm like going, God, I would hate for someone to have to clean that up.
I've done that before. My sister used to work at an Amica insurance company, and she would run the cafeteria. And after lunchtime, 2 o'clock in the afternoon or so, she'd be in the office doing her paperwork. And I would drive a truck. I was in the neighborhood if I come by. And she was in her office, and I went and grabbed a whole cup full of ice, a tall cup full of ice, not quite as much of that. And I stood back, and I threw it in the fryer later and then ran and hid. And
how old were you?
Oh, boy, it's like 22, 23.
So you had enough smarts in your head that you knew what was going to happen.
I knew something bad was going to happen, but I
you
also
didn't realize.
I also knew that I was going to stand back and not have. I wasn't going to just dump it and stand there. And when you put that in, just that cold temperature of the ice, and it just makes such a racket. And it bubbled up. It didn't make a real mess, but it sounded like two cats being thrown over a telephone wire. And just the noise it made was so loud. And she came running in. She scared the crap out of her. And I'm hiding behind this big pole in the building, so she didn't know that I was there for a little while. But she's looking around like, what in the world caused that? And then they came out.
Well, this guy, it overflowed. It went over to all the other things. It went all over the floor. And if someone wasn't paying attention, they could have gotten the oil could have boiled up on them and burned them as well.
Yeah, someone walking by close. Yeah, that's not the correct way.
I mean, if you're going to quit, that's fine. You've seen the videos of people grabbing the microphone going, attention shoppers, managers suck. Tony, you're cool. Fuck you, receiving department. I'm out of here. Yeah. And, hangs up. That's I don't want to say a classy way. Yeah. One of the times I left Home Depot, I didn't quit. I put in my 2 weeks notice, but I still had ties to them for whatever reason. I took my actual shoes that I used to wear at Home Depot, tied them in a knot, and threw them up in the rafters, and they wrapped around. I signed them, and I threw them up in the rafters, and they sat there for years and years and years. And people go, whose shoes are those? And they're like, well, it's a guy who used to work here at this store. Actually, when I left the store, I went to another store. I threw my shoes up there. I didn't quit. I just went to another store. So that was my quitting experience.
That's your littering experience.
Yes. Now, are you familiar with the rap artist Eminem?
Yes, and I'm familiar with the candy M&M.
Which one do you like better?
The candy M&M.
Now,
peanuts.
Eminem has he came out with a movie that was really, really well received. It was called 8 Miles. I forget what year it came out, but it's been out for a very, very long time. It was his first acting debut and stuff. And the Falcon is actually in the movie, and that's a MCU thing. So some people out there will get it. Now, Eminem, in the main song the main soundtrack to the song, talks about Mom's spaghetti being up on his shirt. Like he gets so nervous he vomits up Mom's spaghetti on his hoodie or whatever. So that was a big running joke for a long time about, vomit on your shirt and Mom's spaghetti. It just rhymed. Well, he actually started making these little pop-up stores at festivals like Coachella and all these other rock festivals and natural like Woodstock type festivals, big where they have a bunch of music artists on the stage and all these.
So we'd have a pop-up stand like a small trailer or something.
Almost like a trailer or like a food truck, and it would be called Mom's Spaghetti, and he would sell that. Well, I guess it took off, and everyone loved it so much that they actually Eminem, Marshall Mathers teamed up with a food company. And in Detroit, they're actually opening up a brick and mortar store called Mom's Spaghetti. The eatery, which opens up for business on Wednesday, today at 5 o'clock. So you get about an hour and a half if you're listening to us right now. Hopefully the line's not too long when you get there. Will be located inside the newly opened Union Assembly Restaurant at 2131 Woodward Avenue, all the way in the alley next to the Fillmore. So that's a good place. There's a lot of bands that play at the Fillmore. And here's this place called Mom's Spaghetti. Now you ask yourself, well, what are they going to serve at Mom's Spaghetti? Let's see. Dan, take it away right here.
Yeah, Mom's Spaghetti be a walk-up restaurant serving 3 things. Mom's Spaghetti for $9, Mom's Spaghetti with meatballs for $12, and a sketty sandwich, $11, along with water and pop.
Now, do you call soda pop or do you call it Coke? What do you call it?
I've just called it give me a Coke or get me a tonic. I've never called it a pop.
It's weird traditionally.
Different parts of the country, yes.
Right there.
Yeah, they're proud of the fact they created a scratch sauce that tastes like it's straight from the jar, and wok firing the noodles gives it that leftover pasta snap.
Now
said the owner.
That's pretty smart if you think about it. So they take the wok and they put a little bit, I guess, olive oil or something in it, and they make the noodles, kind of flash fry them in a wok. And like your spaghetti that you had today.
That's how my wife makes that. She'll boil the spaghetti a little bit, then she puts it in the pan and adds the sauce and all the other things.
Really?
Yeah, that's the way that's made. So, because most of the time you boil you make your sauce, You make the spaghetti.
It's supposed to be gravy. It's supposed to be, you call it gravy, but
if you're an Italian, but you take the noodles, put them on the plate, and those are just plain noodles, and pour sauce over it. She puts it in the pan and stirs it and adds the ingredients.
I had a good friend of mine that went over did the European tour before she started college. So she did the European tour, and she went to Italy and I want to have, Italian pasta. I want to have spaghetti, I guess is what they call it. I don't know. And she's out there, she's telling me the story that she's chopping the noodles with a fork and knife. And the maitre d' comes over and goes, oh, no. You do the fork and the spoon and you roll it. You spin it. And she's like, going, I'm American. Oh, you silly American.
Yeah.
So anyways, M&M's opening up starting today at 5 o'clock. They also have a not a thrift store. It's called The Trailer, which is selling merchandise. So they have like a gift shop. And it only includes a lot of stuff that says, Mom Spaghetti. And they say that only 8 stands, this is all M&M stuff, are allowed in the store at any given time. You can buy T-shirts, hoodies, 8 Mile stuff. Now, here's the hours for this. Now, they're not set in stone, but Thursday from 4 to midnight. The kitchen's only open till 10. Friday and Saturday from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. The kitchen's open till 11 p.m. And then Sundays 3 to midnight. The kitchen's open till 9 a.m. and they're closed Monday and Tuesday, so everyone can recoup.
So you think we should take a trip to Detroit and try it out?
I'm gonna wait for that to show up on like one of those Food Network shows, like Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, or Celebrity Restaurants or something like that.
And you'll copycat the recipe.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will go out there and hack the recipe. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about Dogecoin and how you can pay for Mom's Spaghetti, maybe, with your Dogecoin. Stick around. You're listening to DeaconLive right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I did something in the 1970s, and now people are finally getting around to do it when they quit their job.
I didn't want to get into the Kidstagram, like white vinegar and...
I use white vinegar for more things. Kathy drank a whole glass of white vinegar straight.
So it's like it's not Gaiadella or whatever that chocolate is, but
my sister-in-law Debbie said that she wanted to, when she dies, she wanted her ashes put into a chock full of nuts can. Because chock full of nuts is the heavenly copy.
Yeah, well, I'm looking for videos like that. I don't. Sorry, not to cut you off, Dan.
No.
But you were like saying all this stuff, and I'm like going, you're saying all this stuff, but I'm not using this in the program. That's why I was like, hold on, we're not on the air, so I don't need all the... So I don't want you to feel like I was yelling at you.
No, we're fine.
I know you're trying to fill in time, and I appreciate that.
No, I wasn't trying to. I was trying to bust your balls.
Trying to give me a hard time while I'm looking for shit. Thanks. That's all I need. That's all I'm like. That's all I need, Dan. Well, that hamburger. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Clean your palate, please. Thank you. Welcome back to DeaconLive. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the social contacts and all the stuff that links us to you and you to us as well. And while you're there, we have another podcast that IT Dan does. It's called Is This Going Somewhere? So if you want to hear more of his discoveries, it's a darker conversation. It talks about how IT Dan over on my far right-hand side, it gets through the COVID-19 and all the stuff leading up to where he is today over the last 2 years. It's an interesting podcast, so make sure you start at season 1. It goes through the elections and being stuck at home. What do they call it? Isolation, Dan?
Yeah, quarantine.
And you worked for a company for over 20-some-odd years. You left the job to protect your wife and your household from COVID-19.
Yeah, and it's an interesting talk.
Yeah, it is a very interesting talk, and the way you do that is go over to prophetradio.com, click on Is This Going Somewhere as well. Now, Dan,
yes.
It is National Coffee Day today. Did you have your coffee yet?
I've had 2. This will be my 3rd cup of coffee.
Today?
Yeah.
Now, see, I normally do a pot. I would do a whole pot, like the 12-cup pot. And it was nothing for me to drink a full one of those before 11 o'clock.
Yeah, and I have a coffee percolator, and I'll have a cup in the morning with my toast and eggs. That was about 7 o'clock this morning.
What's your favorite coffee that you normally drink? Or do you have a brand that you go to, or whatever's on sale?
Whichever's on sale and different things. And I usually just have almond milk with it because that's healthier than all the...
Sure. What about creamer? Just regular creamer?
No, the creamers are too fattening.
All right.
And you don't even know what's in them. So.
Now, are you familiar with Wendy's?
Yes.
You like going to Wendy's?
For only one thing.
What's that?
I go and get their
What do you
softies.
No, what do you normally call them,
I
Dan?
usually call it a smoothie, and you call me no, it's a Frosty.
It's a Frosty. You call it a smoothie. I don't know where you got that term from. The term smoothie relates. If you go to anyone else on the planet that speaks English and say, I want a smoothie, and they go, okay, and they hand you like vegetables all smeared and chopped up, and you're like going, this is not what I wanted. I wanted a smoothie.
Yep.
You go to a Wendy's and ask for a smoothie, you're not going to get it. Well, it's called a Frosty, Dan.
Okay.
And it is a combination of, there's a way that they make the ice cream just before it gets to that freezing point, and then it's actually chocolate mocha and vanilla mixed together.
Yeah, and what I usually do is I'll go over to McDonald's and get the apple pie, and then I drive across the street to Wendy's
and get the
vanilla Frosty.
Vanilla, ooh.
And you take a bite of the apple pie, take a spoonful of it, and it's like pie and ice cream. Yeah, it's like pie a la mode. It's not, but it's damn close. And for well, now that the Frosties have gone up to like $2.50 for a small one.
So speaking of Coffee Day, and speaking of Wendy's and their Frosties, they've combined those two in this effort right now that is called the coffee-flavored Wendy's Frosty. You might never have coffee the same way again. No meal is complete without dessert, and at Wendy's, a Frosty is the only thing that one orders when you're craving something sweet. I know that people stick their French fries in the Frosty, and that's that sweet and salty at the same time. I like the Baconator sandwiches, but I would never stick any part of my Baconator in the into a Frosty. Now, right now, these days, Wendy's are offering their Frosties in two different flavors, the chocolate and vanilla, like I said. They're also coming out with Frosty Floats and all these other things. They are actually starting to release a Frosty-flavored coffee, which... Do you think that would be a good idea? I mean, are they trying to compete with Starbucks and their, frappuccinos that they have?
And there's a big business. And I mean, you go to a coffee shop at $7-8, and Kathy and I will go get an iced coffee at McDonald's for $1.69. And of course, I forget to tell them the
senior you
discount.
still haven't used that yet.
Well, I haven't been there since then.
All right.
But I mean, that would I'd like something like that.
Are you a big flavored coffee person though?
Yeah, or sometimes. A lot of times I'll just have almond milk. But if I'm out somewhere and I want to treat myself, and sometimes I'll go over to Sonic, and you can get a coffee flavored. You can have them put shots of espresso in your fraps and things.
My wife loves this time of year because it's getting cooler out, and I forget who makes it. Delight or something like that. They have all the flavored, creamers. Like there's an Oreo creamer
and a pumpkin spice,
spice, and all that. But there's one that she gets is the peppermint, low sugar or no sugar peppermint that she puts in her coffee, and it gives it that peppermint Christmas time, holiday time, and coffee at the same time.
It's bringing back memories from childhood. That's what it does.
So the Wendy's is coming out with a Frosty quote-unquote flavored coffee. I don't know if that's going to be a big hit. My wife will probably try it. She's
I'll definitely try it.
Because I know when I go to Dunkin', here's the thing, Dan. When I go to Dunkin' Donuts and I get a coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, coffee, they put lots of cream, lots of sugar is what I say. I get the coffee and you sip it, you know exactly what you're tasting. You could do a blind taste test and have a Dunkin' Donuts coffee there. Everyone loves it. You buy the little, what's the little coffee cup, the Keurig things, and you try to make that thing at home. It's not the same. It's not the same because I think there's something in their Dunkin' Donuts creamer that makes it that whole milky, I don't know.
Yeah, they're not going to sell you something off the shelf that's going to be exactly, it'll be 90%, but it won't be the whole thing.
Well, and that's the the bad thing there. Now, How's your many years ago, or many weeks ago, or many months ago? You pick it, Dan. I don't know. You figure it out.
Yeah, it's probably about 5 months ago.
I told you about Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Dogecoin?
Yes. It was one of my major investments in stocks.
So, for those of you who don't know, Dogecoin is this Bitcoin, currency that's out there. There's a lot of companies that have gone with what is it, Ethereum. I think there's a couple rap artists like Snoop Dogg's got a Snoop coin out there, but it's all Bitcoin. It's all digital currency, which has absolutely no value other than the people that buy it for what it is. What are you looking at there?
Oh, I was looking to see how my Dogecoin investment went.
How is it right now?
Well, I invested $115, and right now it's at $49.56.
Well, according to this article right now, buy your Dogecoin now because this is what's going to happen. Is that you or me?
That's you.
No, it's not me. That's you. Are you familiar with the company Verifone? Verifone?
Yeah, they use that in a lot of the machines when you're running your credit card to the supermarkets and stores.
And it's everywhere. You scan it or put the chip in. They ask for your PIN number, and then you go from there. Or my new cards, the business cards, have the tap pay. And I always thought I tapped it, and I walk away, and it goes, "Sir, you didn't pay for that food." And I'm like, "Oh, you have to hold it there, and it takes a minute or two before." That was the first time I used it. Then I don't know.
That tap to pay with me would be going.
So Verifone now joins with BitPay to offer cryptocurrency checkout payments. Now, what's happening is Verifone has an option to invest in BitPay in the future. So what they're saying is, Dan, since you're the IT guy, take that away.
That's the goal of a new partnership between crypto payment processor BitPay Incorporated and Verifone, one of the world's largest providers of those little machines that's used to pay via credit card or Venmo at a checkout line. Later this year, the newest Verifone terminals will start accepting payments for U.S. merchants for a range of cryptocurrency wallets and tokens, the company said. Terms of the agreement weren't enclosed. I shouldn't change my stock into that pay company.
So BitPay already processes about 60 transactions per month and more than half in Bitcoin, according to the company's spokesperson. By this comparison, Visa handles about 150 million transactions per day. So, I mean, the transaction's not there, but still what they're saying is if you've got cryptocurrency, if you've got any Dogecoin was the main one, you've got Bitcoin and all that stuff, you are going to be able to pay for, hear me out, the first people that are going to accept it is Taco Bell. Taco Bell is going to accept it, and then your pizza places, so it's all going to be fast food for the start to see how it is. Because think about it, you buy your meal at Taco Bell. Dan, how much is your meal at Taco Bell?
Oh, it's usually about $4.
So they're going to say, all right, give me $4 worth of your shitty Dogecoin, and then we'll trade from there. Meanwhile, they're going to bank that Dogecoin at Taco Bell, and they're waiting for that Dogecoin to go back up, and then they can resell it. So basically, it's almost like buying and selling stock and paying for your food based on the Dogecoin.
I read an interesting story about a restaurant owner in San Francisco. Whenever he got Bitcoin, he'd save that. He put that money aside. And he wouldn't put it in the bank. He'd save that all. And after about 4 years of Bitcoin, Bitcoin rose up enough that he was able to retire totally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he still owns the restaurant. He's leasing it to somebody.
I think Bitcoin's right now is rolling around about $45,000 per Bitcoin. And I think when Bitcoin first came out, it was worth like $70 or something.
Yeah, and I've read the story about a guy that's only has 2 more tries left. And it's like
his wallet,
17 million, and he,
trying to get into his wallet with a certain passcode and stuff. Now, Dan, what is your favorite? Speaking on the fast food topic, what is your favorite fast food restaurant to go to? Like, if you had a choice, if they were all up in the line, all on the same side of the road, you didn't have to turn left to turn around to do a U-turn, and there was no waiting, no lines or anything. What's your favorite fast food place to go to?
I don't think I have a favorite because I go to all different ones.
Well, we all go to all of them. But if they were all in a line and all in a row and you were dying and starving, you're going, I have to have blank from blank.
Probably McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah, because of the different choices you have with different ones. But, we have a McDonald's, a Hardee's, Bojangles, Wendy's, Sonic, Cookout,
So
Zaxby's,
you do have this fictitious
Sonic, right? What you're talking about is within a half a mile stretch. You can go to, and they just opened up Biscuitville.
Oh my
which
God!
Is the place is packed. You can't even get in the parking lot.
And what do they sell at Biscuitville?
Biscuits and thick gravy. I mean, it's
And that's
just
it?
heart attacks food. Yeah.
It sounds like Mom's Spaghetti Place.
Yeah.
They only sell spaghetti and spaghetti sandwiches.
Yeah, and I haven't been. Oh, we have a Chick-fil-A too.
As much as we love the best of list, not to be fascinated, but the worst of list is out there as well. Now, you say to yourself, how do other people look at America? Everyone looks at America like we're big, fat, stuffing our face with hamburgers and stuff. Now, don't forget, all the places that we're stuffing our face with, they're available all overseas as well. Now, there's a lot of places or a lot of countries out there that just absolutely despise fast food or these fast food brands. So, hold on. Excuse me.
You're lucky you didn't get any on you.
I know. Rave Reviews is used what they call a Synthesis Strength.
Synthesis Strength, that's a language analysis tool, and it scans over 1 million brand-related tweets and determine whether the overall sentiment towards these brands was negative or positive. So Rave Reviews then compiled the most loathed brands in every country based on the hate rate or the highest percent of negative tweets.
So by the way, just to give you an idea, Uber here in the United States, Uber's known all over. Uber is the most non-food brand that everyone hates here in the United States.
And I don't use Uber here. We went to California, went out to a restaurant. We picked the time. The guy was there 5 minutes early, said, I'm here. Nice ride, nice car. We left the restaurant and we said, well, it's going to take a while to get an Uber. I hit the app for the Uber and one guy goes, I'll be right there. And he showed up like 30 seconds later. I mean, and we had a nice ride. Expensive, but it was a nice ride.
But you have to understand what people are using Uber for. It's mostly like I'm drunk and I want to get home. And it's always a bad, take me to my house and take me to McDonald's and all that stuff. But just to give you an idea as far as what to consider. Now, here is a small list that you would think, brands that we love here in the United States. Like I love Burger King. So that strip you were talking about, I would turn into Burger King every time, only because I was born and raised in Florida. It came out of South Florida, Burger King. We never went to McDonald's. We were always a flame-broiled family. My mom hates McDonald's because it was all fried food and all that stuff, and she thought, for whatever reason, growing up, flame-broiled was better.
No, I used to eat at Burger King, and I used to actually work across the street and ate at a Burger King every day for 2 years. It was the only place I could go at a gas station. I like their burgers. I like their flame burgers.
I know you're going to talk about the grill marks. I know you're going to.
I know. But
if you want to hear Dan's trial and tribulations about Burger King, you can listen to the past couple podcasts.
Burger King is the only place that I called up the manager and complained about how awful their burgers were, and she had her manager make one for me. And it was awful.
Dan, priorities. If you're calling the manager of a Burger King to tell them that their Burger King burgers suck, you've got some other stuff that you got to deal with. You got to reprioritize your life.
That's just how bad it was, because I've never done that before on anything. Yeah.
No. All right. So in other news, here's the thing. So it surprises that, they found out a lot of these companies do not work as well overseas as they do here. Now, are you familiar with Orange Julius? You want to talk about smoothies?
Yeah, smoothies. I find them to be delicious but expensive as hell.
So in Canada, they say, what the hell is this? This is garbage. They cannot stand Orange Julius over in Canada. Now, here's another thing. What is it? They say it. Hold on, let me read this real quick. 46. Oh, they hate it. 47% of the people negative tweets and unhappy with the product themselves over in Canada. That's Orange Julius. Now, you love Starbucks. Talking about National Coffee Day. You like Starbucks? Over in Russia. I'm sorry, Dan. You can answer that. Go ahead.
No, I mean, Russia hates Starbucks. 58% of negative tweets. Mexico hates Taco Bell, and I can understand that because they probably know what Mexican food really should be like.
They say this is garbage.
Yeah, and South Africa hates Wendy's. 46% haters on Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah, and but you can understand certain companies are just going to be funny. So
the most hated brand here in the United States. The most hated food brand, fast food, is Domino's Pizza, eating up about 39% of the negative tweets that are out there as far as, positive and negative for Domino's.
There's a reason behind that.
Why is that?
Their pizza sucks. It really does. I mean, that's it. If you're a pizza chain, make good pizza. You know what I mean? The sauce on it isn't good, and I've eaten there maybe twice, and I don't like it at all.
They had for a while. They were saying that hey, they had commercials like, look, the CEO standing there going, look, we fucked up everything, so we're going to change our name because it used to be called Domino's Pizza. We're going to change it just to Domino's. We're going to redo our pizza sauce, and if you're not happy with it, call me and I will make a pizza for you. I think he had some kind of commercial like that. That's still his phone never rang. He's like, I'm not getting any phone calls. Well, you know why? Because there's no orders going out. Now, KFC. I don't like KFC. My wife likes KFC. They are the highest rated fast food joint that is hated in over 14 countries right now.
My wife doesn't like them just because of the fact that some kid got sick and died, and they wouldn't settle a lawsuit with them.
So she's got a grudge just because of them.
Politics, yeah.
But other than the food itself, I mean, do you?
Yeah, we've always used to eat at KFC.
Didn't you work at KFC? You said
that was one of my very first jobs when I was just a wee lad.
So KFC is the most hated brand over 14 countries, but here's the thing that you don't know is KFC was in a lot of these countries even before McDonald's even got there. So you think McDonald's is always worldwide. No, KFC was in a lot of these countries before McDonald's even was thought about being crept into these local, foreign countries and stuff. Got that?
Yeah.
All right. Now, have you ever been, Dan, when you're sitting there at McDonald's having your apple pie with your Frosty coffee from across the street, and you've been sitting in there, and then all of a sudden you see like a bunch of it's 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock, whenever high school lets out, the teenage kids, and they come walking in there, and of course, that's their stop before they go home, and they're latchkey kids. Who knows what they are? Have you been sitting in like a fast food restaurant and you're like going, oh God, it's 3 o'clock. Here come the high schoolers. They're going to be loud. They're going to be whatever.
No, I have never experienced that, sitting there and watching teenagers. Of course, I did go to McDonald's and Burger King when I was a teenager, and I misbehaved and did things.
Now, so you are the one that was causing problems?
Yes, when I was younger, yes.
Now, I know that Denny's.
And that's why I don't sleep at night.
At Denny's got to be the worst place to work at if you're close to a downtown or a college area, because they're open 24 hours. I don't know if they're open 24 hours now because of the pandemic and everything, but you would get all the drunk people at 2 o'clock in Orlando. Everything shut down at 2 o'clock, all the bars, so all the drunks would go to Denny's, and the waitresses would have to work that third shift and deal with all the drunks and everything. And you're like going, I want pancakes with hamburgers on top, and you're drunk, you don't even know what you're ordering. In California, this burger joint bans customers under the age of 18 for dining without parents. They say that young people were throwing fries at the staff and stuck candy to the ceiling. A California restaurant has banned customers under the age of 18 unless they are accompanied by an adult. Now, I have a problem with that because I think the age of 18 is an adult. So are you 17 walking in with a 18-year-old saying, this is an adult, I'm the 17-year-old? Or, I'm walking in, I'm 17, I'm hanging out with my boyfriend who's 23 years old type deal. Red Rooster's Burger and Brew said that young people have been vandalizing the premises on any given time. Some of their actions are unlawful, and we will not allow it, says the owner, as he posted on Facebook. So take this away right here, Dan.
Yeah, a California burger joint has banned customers under 18 unless accompanied by a parent or guardian due to what is described as unacceptable behavior by young people. Kind of way like I was when I was a kid. But Red Rooster's Burgers and Brew, which is located in Garden Valley, announced the decision in a Facebook post on Friday, saying it had tolerated the behavior for 2 years. So
what are they doing, Dan?
If you come in, you can come in and buy food and take it to go, but you just can't come in the dining room. So And it's not the owner's intent to exile the youth in the community. They just need to protect their property, you know. They had fries being thrown at employees. You could poke someone's eye out with a fry.
Right.
You know, a condom being left in a bathroom.
Come on.
Yeah. Candy being stuck to ceiling and condiments being squirted into the wrong bottles and thrown around the premises.
So is it the kids or is it what you allow the kids to do they're having condoms and stuff? They said that the young customers were coming in and using the baby changing tables to like quote unquote make out. And then some of the actual actions were unlawful. They were actually smoking weed in those bathrooms. So
This is like the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. This is like horrible.
It's like going to a truck stop gas station out in the middle of nowhere and complaining that there's, whores in the parking lot. I mean,
yeah, this is kind of insane. I have to chuckle at that. So,
but that's where I don't know where the location is. Dan, look this up. Where are they located at?
Some valley in California.
Look it up.
Garden Valley, California.
Look up Red Roosters Burgers and Brew, and tell me where they're located at. Because I want to find if they're like in the middle of Compton or one of those horrible neighborhoods. Oh, it's got 114 reviews, 4.1 stars. It looks like let's see, Red Roosters. Here's Garden Valley. So let's find the next closest town over. These are all our people that listen to us overseas. Sacramento. So it's just northeast of Sacramento, probably about 150 miles outside of Sacramento. Are you looking at it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it there. And yeah, it's right near the fire station. So.
Yeah, so across the street is what is this? People's Mountain Market. So there you go. I don't know if it's a bad location. It is kind of out in the middle of, Sacramento is kind of desolate out there when you get out to the Outer Banks. So that's where they're located. It looked like a really good restaurant, from their website. But there you go. All right.
It's only 41 hours from here if you want to go check it out.
Walking or driving?
Driving.
All right. When we come back, we're going to get into this week in What Are the Chances? And for more information, stick around. We'll be right back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I didn't get to say how badly I hate Burger King.
You did. Past couple episodes. You don't have to do it every episode.
Okay.
People, if they listen to the past couple episodes, they know. It's a story, Dan. You don't have to tell the person that you killed 3 people 3 times in every scene. Know what I mean?
We didn't say it on this show. We said it on the other show.
But what I'm saying is, you don't have to say it with every episode. And that's why I say, if you want to listen to Dan talk about how much he hates Burger King, you listen to the past couple episodes. That brings the audience in to listen to the past couple episodes. Did you look at their menu at Red Roosters, whatever?
I've eaten at a Red... Oh, what's a Red Robin?
That's a Red Robin. Amy had one of those right there on W.T. Harris, right across from where she comes out. She's like, I'm never eating there. She's like, I see it every time. Yeah. All the co-workers and stuff go to Red Robin all the time. Yeah. She goes down to because she works in that big facility.
Yeah.
And there's an eyeglass hut, or not eyeglass hut. There's an eye doctor. There's a nail salon. There's all that in that establishment. You ever seen the big compound that's over there?
I haven't. No, I haven't been down.
It's 10,000. It holds 10,000 employees, so I forget how many square feet the whole entire place is. But it's like a big mall. Like once you get inside the security, it's like the Pentagon. You can walk around all the hallways and there'll be like a convenience store where you can buy gum and cigarettes and all that stuff. Then there'll be like a massage parlor. Then there'll be like if you have a normal doctor's office, you're walking around like this huge mall. And then you go to the upper floors and that's where all the offices and
so
stuff
you
are.
Never have to leave the building.
Technically, you never have to leave the building. And this one store she used to go to, every Wednesday they had a sushi chef. So it was like, it's Sushi Wednesday, and I think it was there every other Wednesday. So she would get sushi on Wednesday. Other than that, she would go to the place and they would do the salad by scale. Yeah. You know, she'd go to the salad bar and they'd weigh it. And
$10 a pound for lettuce.
Right.
Yeah, Kathy went, they weighed the stuff up and she got Chinese food. And she had a little container like this, and she packed it full of stuff, and it was $18 at Harris Teeter. No, I don't want to get. She goes, I got this by mistake, and the woman says, not a problem. But we go to this place, 99 Market, and you could fill up a tall, big, like a takeout container, and you Chinese food, and we'd go there and eat, and we'd get and she could get, we'd fill them up, and it was like $6 to fill a big one up in California. That was a good deal.
She loves Chinese food.
Yeah,
loves it. I just, not that I can't stand it. I'll eat it.
Yeah.
Like I'll have like a couple of rangoons and maybe an egg roll or something. Outside of that, I don't want to eat it. It's not filling for me. It doesn't taste. I mean, I'll have sushi with her.
I will not eat sushi.
But they always say 30 minutes later you're hungry again. All right, so here we go. What are the chances? You ready? Oh, I gotta pull the articles. Dan?
Yeah, and turn the button on.
The button's already on. It's been on all day.
Kid got stabbed again? Wow. Bad luck.
Got him right in his toe.
I'm ready.
This is all gonna be visual stuff, so. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan.
Yes, I'm bleeding all over my keyboard. Well, I could be.
I saw you got a Band-Aid on your... I didn't realize it was that bad. It was a splinter. You got like almost like a splint to keep your fingers...
I could die from this.
You got the metal strapping on it with the tape, not duct tape, the
it's
medical
just got
tape.
Fabric Band-Aid, but it's... No.
Stop low-balling it here.
It hurts like a bitch. So.
Just a couple more articles here, and we'll let you guys get back to what you got to do. Now, this segment right here we're going to call is, What Are the Chances?
What are the chances?
So, what are the chances means, you ever seen something like, my wife does stuff all the time. I do it myself. If I throw something to her, hey, catch this, and it bounces and goes boink, 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 and then lands in like a cup. And I'm like, what are the chances of that happening? Me throwing this to you. Or you just do something weird. You try to pick things up and you drop something and bounces and goes right into some kind of, something weird happens.
Yeah, or if you're carrying a bottle of, maple syrup or something in a glass jar, what are the chances of it breaking?
No, Dan, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is just weird things. Like if I was to throw, let's say I threw this pen over to you and you missed it and it bounced around and it landed in your water bottle right there. What are the chances of that happening?
Well, you were telling me about when you had that jar and you broke it against the counter and you said, what are the odds of that happening? You said when it happened.
No, the tea. When I made boiled tea and I tipped
And you told me, what are the chances that happening?
What are the chances? Now that we've defined what are the chances, Dan, now that we're all on the same page, these couple videos that we're going to play right here are exactly what you say. What are the chances of that happening? Now, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well, and you can see these videos live in real time as we're talking about them here on the air. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com, and click on Deacon Live, and you can see that as well. Now, there have been videos out there, Dan, I know you've seen this before, where it shows that crazy intersection, like in, I don't know what Asian town, I don't know if I'm being racist by saying that, where it's just a cluster of cars just moving but no one hits anyone, no one hits it. It's like Bangkok or something like that. Everyone's driving around in their scooters and buses and cars, and it's just like it's like a free-for-all. It's like the Wild West out there, but it's the Wild East, I guess it would be out there.
Wild Far East.
So, and you've seen those videos, right? It looks like poetry in motion. Everyone knows what everyone's doing. Everyone's going to a certain place. No one hits anyone or wrecks anyone. Now, this first video we're going to show you right now, this woman right here in Australia, the traffic cam captures this video. Hold on.
Growing up in a little red house on the edge of a forest in North.
Shut up. So, a nail-biting footage released from Australian authorities shows a car with a woman and a child inside careening through traffic, barely missing several vehicles while traveling at a high rate of speed. In Northern Territory Police Force is investigating this September 22nd incident in Coconut Grove. A Toyota Helix, which we don't have here in the United States, the pickup was seen driving towards Darwin City around 5 p.m. when a female driver lost control, the police said. Now, she failed to make the turn as it seemed narrowly avoiding, you can see her narrowly avoiding all the traffic from both directions, ongoing and upcoming, waiting for the traffic light. The vehicle crashed eventually in a nearby business. What were you going to say, Dan?
I got to see this.
All right, here we go. So let's switch screens here so we can all be friends. And this is going to happen real quickly, and I'm going to play this probably a couple times. So here you go. If you look at the, let's blow this up so everyone can see it. If you look at the far left-hand side of the screen, right there she is.
Oh, shit.
How many lanes of traffic is that, Dan?
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3. She went through 5 lanes of vehicles, straight across, sideways, 90 degrees, through these cars, and never hit it and hit. Wow.
I'll play it one more
What
time.
are the
for you.
odds? Yeah. You're exactly right. What are the odds?
No, what are the chances? So what do you think about that, Dan?
That's incredible.
You can say what are the chances.
Yeah, what are the chances of that? 1,000,001.
So there you go. And you see that video, and it's weird to see that, like, people say, claim higher power, people claim all this other stuff, but what are the chances of that happening? Now, here's the thing. Dan, you're a big fan of baseball.
No, I watch baseball. I'm a big fan of football.
But you've seen baseball.
Yes.
You know the rules of baseball, right?
Yes.
You understand what happens and all that stuff that happens in baseball. Now, right in the middle of this baseball game, let's see, find out. The Tigers pitcher, Tyler Alexander, hilariously threw a pitch way up in the crowd after the ump called timeout. Now, the plate umpire has complete control over the game. He can call timeout at any time during the game. Whether something happened in his job, he sees the whole field. So if something's not happening, if something, someone comes over the fence on the back wall, he has to, I'm the eyes and ears of the whole entire.
If the batter steps out of the batter's box, anything that's
supposed to disrupt the play that's actually going to happen, the ump will call time. Now, in this video right here, the ump calls timeout right in the middle of a pitch. Now, when you're in the middle of a pitch, you're talking major leagues. You're talking the pros.
You've got all that torque. You got your whole body going.
You're trying to get ready to throw this 98-mile-an-hour fastball down into Jose Sanchez's batter's box. And the ump calls timeout right in the middle of the pitch. And here is the actual pitch that happens. Let's see if I can play this.
Wait, right there.
Here we go.
Time is called. There goes Alexander.
Hold on. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's the pitch.
Time is called. There goes
Where'd the pitch go, Dan?
Alexander up into the crowd.
I mean, for safety-wise, he didn't want to throw the pitch and you can't stop your motion. You'll hurt yourself.
You don't see that very often, do you? You see foul balls, but not pitched balls into the stands.
Yeah.
Well,
they'll show it again here.
It's been happening.
He called timeout.
Guys try and stop their arm, that deceleration with that ball in there.
He just got to chuck it like he's chucking it to the kid in the backyard.
Time is called. There goes Alexander.
Well, he did that so he wouldn't hurt his arm. You can't just stop your motion.
Correct. What were we going to say?
I was going to say back in the 50s, there was a Major League Baseball pitcher named Ryan Doran, and the guy had real thick glasses.
Sorry, say it again.
And he had real thick Coke bottle glasses, and he was a relief pitcher, and he would come in and throw the first pitch so wild and out of the way that he scared the other batters, thinking, this guy is blind, he can't see me. And he'd throw the ball on the inside of the plate, and these guys were just afraid that he couldn't see what he was doing. And he was a great relief pitcher and stuff, but it was psychologically, they said, this guy doesn't know where he's throwing the ball.
That's pretty intimidating. Now, very intimidating is, now that the kids are going back to school, hold on, let me fix these videos here. So now that kids are going back to school and these videos like this, back. Here comes some calls. Now that kids are going back to school, not that they're being released like recess. So it's kind of like, what was the article we were talking about where the cows are taking over the beaches because there's not a whole lot of people on the beaches anymore?
Yeah, and they were also finding in the cities that rats were taking over the cities because there was no food there and people weren't eating, and different things happened during the pandemic.
At this school right here, kids aren't playing on the playgrounds anymore, so the live animals, the wildlife is coming out and playing on the monkey bars are playing out in the place here.
We're going to see monkeys?
Nope, we're going to see a teacher catches a mama bear with her baby bear playing on the jungle gymnasium. And the jungle gymnasium's got like the slides and everything on it. And this teacher, let's see. A teacher here in North Carolina was filming mama bear and her cub playing around on playground equipment at the school where she works. While she says this is the first time she's ever seen this happen, she thinks the bears have visited this playground before, like I said. Yeah. So here we go. Here's the video. So the mama bear's up top, and here comes the baby bear trying to get up on top of the, there's steps and all that stuff and different ways to achieve the top.
Well, get away from me.
Oh, there it goes.
Here she
Mama's
comes.
going to the shower.
Oh, man.
Yep, the bear's walking up the stairs. They're going to go down the slide.
So Mama's going down the tall slide.
Go down the slide.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
And the baby bear tries to imitate Mom.
Oh, my gosh.
No, change their mind.
This one, honey. It's a smaller one.
So she's waiting at the smaller one.
Oh,
there you go.
My gosh.
That is cute. That's nice.
That seriously just happened. Oh my gosh.
So the mama bear is playing with the baby bear, and they're playing on the playground. Just because, they don't have to worry about kids and stuff being out there because they haven't been out there for, the last 2 years.
And it is a playground. They should be playing.
They should be playing. All right, on behalf of all you guys listening to us, downloading us, and doing all the stuff that links us to you and you to us as well, make sure you go over to profitradio.com, click on all our social contacts, and do all that stuff. On behalf of IT Dan.
Hey, it's great here. It's great, with all listeners. The feedback we're getting is fantastic.
My name is the Deacon saying goodnight.
Wait.
And goodnight.
Come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
I got 2 emails from the lawyer.
See you later.
I got 2 emails from the lawyer already.
What lawyer?
For my class action suit.
For the chicken? You did not.
Well, what are the odds?
It's an
What are the chances?
It's an autofill or something like that.
Yeah.
All right.